F-Zero GX is one of my favorite games that I recently discovered. I started playing it last year, and ever since then, I've been hooked. It's fast racing mixed with responsive controls, great map design, a killer soundtrack, and a wide variety of characters to choose from. No wonder people consider it one of the best racing games of all time. So why hasn't Nintendo made one in the last 20 years? AeroGPX is an incredible game that you should all be playing right now. It's a game that takes everything that made F-Zero so special and adds to it in an exceptional way. While I don't think it's better than F-Zero GX, it sure is damn close. First, let's start with the two coolest new mechanics added to this game, flying and the drill dive. A lot of maps have this sick new flying mechanic that lets you glide in the sky. It feels so smooth to fly around, and it adds to the gameplay formula immensely, especially with the other new mechanic, drill diving, which lets you spin in the air to get a massive speed boost when you hit the ground. On some maps, this can completely change the flow of how they're normally supposed to be played, and I mean that in the best way possible. It allows you to do crazy shit like this.
Final lap!
There's also another mechanic, burn damage. On some maps you have these firebolts coming out of the tracks and they burn you. It causes you to slowly lose health, however at the cost of getting slightly increased stats. When you fully burnt out your health bar, you enter Final Burn. It'll greatly increase your stats, yet at the trade-off of, killing you faster. I honestly never used this feature that much. It just kind of felt unnecessary to have because I could just race normally and just use my boost sparingly. Although I do appreciate that it's here, and I can feel as if it could be very useful on the hardest difficulty. The physics are also incredible. They feel one-to-one with F-Zero GX's gameplay. Whether you're drifting on a tight turn, racing on a cylinder, or boosting like your life depends on it, you'll truly feel like Captain Falcon. I genuinely don't know how the dev did it, but he sure as hell knocked it out of the park. On another note, in F-Zero GX and all the F-Zero games, your health and boost power are all in one bar, but in AeroGPX, it's two separate bars. This is a wonderful change to the gameplay flow, and it forces you to make split-second decisions, like, oh, do I want to get more health but sacrifice my boost capabilities, or do I want to get more boost but sacrifice my health and potentially go fast and kill myself? It's such a simple yet wonderful change that makes each race more unique, especially since the track design allows for tons of experimentation with how you race on them. Now, who you race with on those tracks is also a great part of this game. AeroGPX, as of writing this video, has 15 playable characters, as well as 15 playable tracks. They're all very uniquely designed, and just like F-Zero, they all have their own unique stats that make them feel different one way or another. I never raced with any characters that felt like they were the best or worst. They all have their pros and cons, yet each racer feels viable even if some of their stats are awful compared to others. Shout out to my homies Jet Jackson, Andrea Thane, and Jazz Big Boy. I love these names so much. Oh yeah, and before you say in the comments, yes, you can KO people, and oh my, is it very fun. You still have the ram and spin mechanics to get KOs, so get ready to cause some absolute mayhem when you're on the track. And of course, while you're racing, you'll be hearing some of the most hype tunes to ever grace your Steam library. The music in this game makes me want to bang my head and commit insurance fraud. Aaron, if you're watching this video, please release physical copies of the soundtrack. I'd buy every copy. Also, this game is basically bug-free. I never experienced a single bug in all my 5 hours of playtime, which is very, very rare for early access titles nowadays. There were a couple of times where the announcer would just stop counting down before the race started, as well as in the single-player menu, it shows the same 2 videos for each of the 4 video previews, but that's very minor stuff compared to the actual gameplay and presentation itself. Also, I realized as I was editing this video, ghost data doesn't work at all. If you do a time trial, it just doesn't work. Also, in the top left, you can see time trial dash track text here. So, you might want to get on that one. Currently, the game is in early access, as I stated before, and the dev has plans to add 15 more characters, local multiplayer, and an unlocks menu. I can't wait to see what this game has next in store for me. So overall, AeroGPX is 100% a worthy spiritual successor to F-Zero GX. It has great map design, responsive controls, a great cast of characters, a killer soundtrack, fun new game mechanics, and is absolutely worth your time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to commit insurance fraud.